Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Daniel Nabod. Okay. Had this figured out. Oh my. Come on. Oh my goodness. Struggling here, just a moment.
Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Everything I've ever done, everything I've ever seen, everything I've lost or won, everything I've ever dreamed has brought me here to the present moment, here to a new beginning, here, and I'm seeing life so clearly now. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. 'Cause here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, closer, closer, closer to my sacred source. Here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, closer, closer, closer to my sacred source. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Get ready, my soul.
You are like a treasure chest. Well, you're more than like a treasure chest. You are a treasure chest. I just want to crack you open and see what's in there. Well, I wouldn't do that, of course, because I respect your healthy boundaries and your privacy, and there are some things about you that are just simply yours and yours alone, and not for anyone else. Some things that you hold so near and dear. But I do want to crack you open, when it's something about you, when it's about you, when you want to talk about you. I'm fascinated. I'm in. When the river runs deep, you are the river. Your life is the river. There's an analogy here of the river, deep and narrow, maybe, inside yourself, the treasure chest, or wide and shallow, or wide and deep and beautiful. So much untapped depth inside you. Take that on for a minute. Let you be with that for a moment. An example might be the difference in preferences of introverts versus extroverts. About how they prefer to experience the world, take in their world, take in information in order to make the best decisions for themselves, or sometimes not so best decisions, to make decisions, period. Introverts like to go inside. They like to think things through before speaking in their process of coming to a decision, process of decision making. They like gleaming information and relying on their inner world. Sometimes there can be long pauses before they're ready to speak. Sometimes minutes, sometimes hours, sometimes days, sometimes longer. You know that. You all are introverts or no introverts. And when they finally do speak, they really do have something to say. They really do have something to say. And so we need to listen, because it comes from the depths of their being. And when and if they're ready to speak, we've unfortunately oftentimes already moved on to another subject. And so, unfortunately, we never get to hear all that richness that comes from them, that's in them. We never get to experience that unless we're in their small circle. Wow. Extroverts, on the other hand, prefer to talk things out in decision making, and taking in information, rely on the outer world. They can speak easily and readily on the spot. I so envy people like that. And there's no right or wrong about these, no good or bad. We need all of us to fill in the gaps of each other. It's a gift that sometimes we use in the best of ways for ourselves and those around us, and other times not so much. It gets in our way. For all of us and all of our gifts, sometimes they get in our way and cause problems for us until we learn to polish them up and give them to the world and to ourselves in the most effective way. And so there's a downside to our gift, whether it be any gift, but right now we're talking about the gift of introversion or the gift of extroversion. There's a hole in that giftedness. And for each other, we fill in the gaps. Do you see where that can be true? A lot of the times, though, when another person's different from us, we feel irritated, but we fill in the gaps nonetheless. So when the river runs deep, the literal meaning would be when the river looks still and calm at the surface, but probably there's deep and treacherous, unexpected undercurrents underneath. Literal meaning. Figurative meaning would be a person who seems overly quiet, outside themselves. On the outside, they may seem overly quiet, in deep thoughts. The negative side to that is we don't always know what they're thinking, and it may not always be in the best interest of them or those around them. So there's a downside to all of it. You may have heard the term still waters run deep. And that may have been what came to your mind when you think a river runs deep. That's what happened for me. On the surface of an ocean, the surface is always changing depending on the wind and the tide and the season and even the time of day. Whether it be smooth and sometimes it's calm. At one point in the day, it might be smooth and calm, and then later in the day, rough and choppy. Might be 10-foot waves or small whitecaps. What's really interesting, though, is 30 feet down, the water never changes. It's as calm as can be. Calm and still as can be. Right above it, on the surface, it may change a dozen times a day. But at least 30 feet down, it never changes. It's always calm. I liken that to our humanness. Our human aspect is relative. It's from the relative realm. It's changeable. But the absolute realm, the divine realm, on the other hand, is absolute, unchangeable. It is our solid rock that we stand upon. Like the ocean, though, that's the way you and I need to be in our life. On surface, there's always activity. There's always change on the surface. There's always storms in our life with waves and wind. Some days bigger than others, right? Not funny always, is it? Hey, we can't get away from traffic, bad traffic jams. We can't get away from that person that irritates us. Can't get away with that person that we disagree with. Oh gosh. Can't get away with the challenges that come up in our relationships, in our health, in our finances. That's just life. Those things create waves on the surface. In Solomon 5, Chapter 10. Tim, I don't know if you have this or not, but if you do, if you could paste it in the comment section, that would be great. And as a ship that passes over the water, which is gone by, the trace thereof cannot be found. Neither the pathway of the keel in the waves, that can't be found either. What this means is, what happens on the surface disappears quickly. But deep down in your spirit, deep down in your soul, it benefits you. It benefits us to have a calmness, a peace that's deep within. Everybody has it. Doesn't always seem that way. And so when wisdom that I may not be seeing or experiencing that deep wisdom in the midst of the challenge, it's hard. Insights that might help me that I'm not seeing because I'm in the middle, too close in the middle of my challenge to be able to see clearly. My prayer is this: And Tim, if you would post this in the comment section, that would be great. My prayer is this: I give thanks for divine revelation. Reveal the needs that need to be revealed, and heal what needs to be healed. Yes. And here's another one. Tim, I think you have this one also. Isaiah 30, verse 15. In the quietness and calmness will be my strength. At times, I don't always feel quiet and calm, do we? Sometimes when we're in the doldrums, we can make a conscious choice to draw from that wellspring of divine life within, from the healing infinite, the healing reservoir of the infinite with a capital I. Remember, we are children of life. God is life. Positive life energy flows through us as we remember who we truly are. That divine aspect to ourselves that's born, a creation out of our source. Know that my divine source is mightier than any circumstance. Know in the depths of my soul that God is my source, God is my strength, and I am renewed by the vitalizing spirit of life with a capital L. We can learn to live in the deep places most of the time. That's not what life on this earth is really about. We don't always live in the deep places, but we can learn that when we're on the surface in that chaos and those challenges, we can learn to access that deeper wisdom. When we're worried or stressed out, if we're moved by every outer circumstance, upset because we don't get our way, offended by what someone said, we're leading a shallow life on the surface. In the New Testament, in Corinthians 2, it talks about a spirit-given ability, a gift of discernment and wisdom and that inner voice. In the Old Testament, it also talks about that in 1 Kings. Because Solomon asked for wisdom and discernment in the service to God's people. Instead of asking for riches, he was given that wisdom, as all of us are. And this is what enables us to be able to see below the surface, deep into our heart, God's grace, a gift of wisdom, a free gift to us humans, which inspires us to know the desirable behaviors in every situation. What would be in our best and highest interest and in the highest and best interest of those around us whenever we need to understand or to solve a problem. It inspires us to act. This gift inspires us to act and speak intelligently in our daily, personal, and community lives, our marriages, our relationships, our work, our educating our children. And that doesn't stop when they reach adulthood, folks. Leading us, all of our relationships, friendships, leading us to make decisions that are more in alignment, in harmony, in accordance with the will of God. Decisions that lead us to be our best, our highest and best self, being the best that we can be. It allows us to read below those deep waters, to know the real reason behind something that's being said or something that's being done. It's a time to listen deeply. At the depths of our soul is a degree of wisdom beyond the consciousness, assuring that we are one with the eternal presence of the divine with a capital D, presence with a capital P, eternal with a capital E, one with the eternal presence of the divine. And in these sacred moments, we know beyond the shadow of a doubt that we are enfolded in pure, the purest of love. Relaxing into that sense of well-being. And it allows us to tap into God's love. We experience then a peace that surpasses all understanding, all human understanding. And we carry that with us. We carry with us that assurance with us wherever we go. It's right there, folks, to be tapped. Hey, you don't control the wind. You can't control the tide. You can't control what others do. You can't control what that neighbor says. Even you can't control what battles you fight, necessarily. Really, the only thing you control is your attitude. Life is 10% what happens, and 90% how you respond. I don't want to hear that, but it's true. If we worry all the time, if we get upset in traffic, frustrated because we get that unexpected bill, my encouragement to you today is to go deeper. Find that place of still waters, of peace with God. The peace we experience wells up then from the depths of our being. From that place of silence, we are filled only with awareness of divine presence. That peace of God refreshes and restores us each time we visit our inner sanctuary, replacing anything that's not in harmony with a deeper communion with God. Remember, the surface is always changing, can never get away with life's challenges, adversities. If you're alive, as long as you're alive, there's something to be dealt with. All right? But when we go deep down into the deep waters, into the depth of our perfect, divine, true self, that aspect of you that is your wholeness, that aspect of your wholeness, then we experience the calmness and the rest for your soul, in your soul. Time to spend prayerful contemplation. When we do that, it quiets our mind and allows us to touch newfound depths of the stillness deep within. Still water runs deep. According to the wisdom of Solomon, we need discernment and wisdom to pull up that deep understanding within our heart, drawing up that blessed water from the deep well Let down that bucket into the well for insight and wisdom of how things are all divinely connected. It's not what it seems. Okay, we've been talking about dealing with ourselves. What about others? What can we do? Do we need really to do anything? We know they have within them everything it takes to make the best decisions, and we know that they don't always do that. They hit the rocks and the bumps, as do we, along the way. But we know down deep they have everything, as do we. Well, let's talk about that. Do we need to do anything? Let's talk about that. Sometimes we think, I wish they would tell me how they feel. Well, let's see. We don't really have to know what they feel. Maybe it's their business. We can just know that the depth is there, even though it might be invisible to us. How can we let down a bucket into their well? Show interest? Ask quiet questions. Have you had a bad day? How can I help? And then be willing to listen deeply to their answers. Let them know that they matter. Perhaps it would be most helpful if we just were accepting. That seems pretty obvious, but yet it's sometimes the hardest thing to do, especially if it's someone that we're struggling to connect with for whatever reason. But we can listen. We can draw out their thoughts and their feelings and the dreams that reside deep down in their heart, strengthening that connection between us. It's an opportunity for connection. You know, so often we miss those opportunities that are right there in front of us. It would behoove us then to let down the bucket, dive deep down into our own reservoir of divine wisdom and down into their reservoir of divine wisdom. Set aside time, ask questions, listen to that small, still voice of wisdom, and remember, what you see on the surface is only temporary, but deep waters, unchanging, stable, the solid rock upon which we stand. We can walk and live in peace, in that peace, the peace that permeates our heart, our soul, our body, our mind, our being. And we are humbled to make such a wondrous discovery, a gift of sweet tranquility, wrapped in divine presence all the days of your life. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deeper.
Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love. sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Everything I've ever done, everything I've ever seen, everything I've lost or won, everything I've ever dreamed has brought me here to the present moment, here to a new beginning, here, and I'm seeing life so clearly now. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. 'Cause here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, closer, closer, closer to my sacred source. Here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, closer, closer, closer to my sacred source. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Get ready, my soul.
Get ready, my soul. Diving in. Have a blessed day.